So
Yes.
no.
So if he
So no protection.
if he filed tax returns this year for money he earned last year, that his sons earned, that his World Liberty Financial, all those people earned and defrauded taxpayers on it, he faces no liability under this agreement you signed.
There's no evidence taxpayers were defrauded, and he
But
is not protected.
there's
He is
evidence in
not
this
protected.
agreement that
not
you've
protected.
absolved him of.
Todd Blanch sat frozen like a deer in headlights as Senator Adam Schiff systematically tore him to shreds over a shady IRS settlement that handed Donald Trump an all-you-can-eat tax immunity buffet. Schiff picked up the DOJ's official narrative, completely dismantled it, and dropped it right back in Blanch's lap, showing us all that you can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, no matter how many lawyer titles you throw on it.
And I don't think you can deny responsibility here, and that is the IRS settlement agreement. So
Yes.
you put your name on this. That absolves the president of tax liabilities in the past. The president was convicted in the case you represented him in of falsifying business records in part for tax purposes. Does this settlement not absolve the president of any liability for tax crimes associated with what he's already been convicted of?
That's not what he was convicted of. Not having to do with
Well,
for tax
I'm happy
purposes.
to read the statement of facts. The participants took steps that mischaracterized for tax purposes the true nature of the payments made in furtherance of the scheme. So you know,
The
Mr.
participant
Blanch,
there was not the president. It was somebody else.
well, if the president is conspiring with others to falsify business records to help them cheat on taxes, he is also exposed to liability. You know that as well as I do.
He can't be audited for that.
And of course he can be. Of course he can be. And he can be prosecuted for it. But the agreement you signed on behalf of your former client, on behalf of your current client, in a staggering example of self-dealing prohibits that. Let me ask you this. Does this tax agreement, this addendum you signed, also hold him harmless from any audit or tax liability with respect to the billions in crypto money he made in his first year as president?
It's not forward-looking. So to the extent there are taxes filed by the president or his sons or the Trump organization after the date of that agreement, there's no protection.
Well, but before that agreement. So any
So
taxes.
he hasn't filed taxes
so
yet
any-
for money he made last year, right? So
Yes.
no.
So if he
So no protection.
if he filed tax returns this year for money he earned last year, that his sons earned, that his World Liberty Financial, all those people earned and defrauded taxpayers on it, he faces no liability under this
No
agreement you
evidence.
signed.
There's no evidence taxpayers were defrauded, and he
But
is not protected.
there's
He
evidence
is
in
not
this
protected.
agreement that
He's not
you've
protected.
absolved him of any liability over
No, I
it.
just said he's not absolved. So the question
So this
was,
agreement doesn't apply to a tax return filed last year
To
or
tax
filed this
returns-
year.
to tax returns filed after the date of the agreement? No,
No,
it does not
before the
apply.
agreement. A tax return filed in this calendar year before this agreement.
Before the agreement, it applies, not after.
Okay, so for a tax return filed this year for last year, for the billions he made, there's no tax liability, even if he cheats on his taxes or his kids do or his business do. He is absolved of that further potential liability.
No.
Well, it's in the plain language of your agreement. Did you write this language,
You
by
have
the
to
way?
use the facts, though,
Did
that
you-
he hasn't
did
filed
you-
taxes yet. So when he files taxes, there's no protection based upon this agreement.
Did you write this language?
Did I type it up myself?
Did you write this language?
No.
Well, you put your name to it.
I did.
So who wrote this?
I don't know the person that actually typed it. I don't know who it is.
Was
Someone
it,
within the
was it
Department
one
of
of the
Justice.
president's lawyers, or was it someone from the Justice Department or IRS?
This document would have been
Yes.
somebody within the Department of Justice.
Well, you have no idea who that is.
I don't know the name of the person that typed it
And
up.
did you debate with them the statute of limitations, which clearly would preclude the president's claim, this $10 billion lawsuit?
We had extensive discussions internally about the underlying litigation.
And did you reject the statute of limitations defense?
I'm not a judge. I don't reject
But
things.
you
I mean,
signed an
there was-
agreement
there
for
was-
the
There was
U.S.
discussion around
You
the
signed an
litigation.
agreement for the U.S. basically indicating that the Justice Department's position that the statute of limitations applies doesn't matter.
I did. That's not what I said. I didn't
Well-
say that anywhere.
Who rejected the 25 defenses the IRS had to this sham lawsuit? Who rejected them? Who said that these defenses we're not going to accept, we're just going to go with the president's agreement in the slush fund,
There
in
was
this immunity?
There was a lot of discussion internally.
But you made the
about
decision.
case. What's the decision? What do you mean?
You made the decision to not defend the IRS and the Justice Department. You made the decision instead to sign this slush fund agreement.
We made the
with
decision to settle the case, correct?
Yeah. And in doing that, you basically decided that you were going to be the lawyer for the president and the lawyer for the IRS and the Justice Department. As the court found in this case, there was no adversarial relationship.
Yes,
the court found it was a sham, it was a collusive relationship. And what I don't understand, Todd Blanch, what happened to the Todd Blanch who was a prosecutor in the Southern District of New York? What happened to the prosecutor people had respect for? What happened to the prosecutor who once respected the rule of law? What happened to the prosecutor who said that there wouldn't be a whiff of political partisanship and then prosecutes the president's enemies over Seychelles cases, over making a video stating the plain law and Constitution? What happened to the Todd Blanch of the Southern District of New York that could convert him into you, someone willing to say the president has both the right and the duty to prosecute his political enemies? I cannot imagine the Todd Blanch of the old days would have ever done that. What happened to you, Todd Blanch? I'll tell you this, I think Robert Caro had it right when he said that power doesn't corrupt as much as it reveals. I suspect it has just revealed who you are, and who you are is someone willing to sacrifice everything you once believed in for that title, for that position of Attorney General. And it is a sad story that we have seen from Trump appointee after appointee after appointee. We have seen people compromise themselves little by little, and then a lot by a lot, until they're sitting before this committee and trying to justify the unjustifiable. I yield back.
May I just briefly respond, Chairman?
Yes, you may.
Very briefly. So you asked me what happened to Todd Blanch. I am still here. I am the same exact person I was when I was a federal prosecutor in the SDNY, which is do the right thing and do everything you can to keep communities safe. So when I was a line prosecutor, when I was a supervisor, when I was the head of a division, my motivation and my goal was the same thing with the people who worked with me and worked for me, which is do the right thing, enforce the laws, and put bad guys in jail. And so you spend time talking about, I did not interrupt you. I did not interrupt you. A little courtesy would be appropriate. So when you ask me what has changed, okay, and you talk about a single document that I signed, okay, and somebody had to sign that document when the president sued, okay, so I tried to do the right thing. What I do every single day, and what the prosecutors in this country do every single day, and the nearly 100,000 indictments and informations that have been filed since January 20th, is exactly what everybody in this building should want the Department of Justice to do, which is to make our communities safer, enforce the laws, both civilly and criminally, and always do the right thing with integrity, which is exactly what I'm doing. So I am the same Todd Blanch I was when I was a federal prosecutor in the SDNY.
Before I call on...
Right out of the gate, Schiff goes straight for the throat. He confronts Blanch about putting his signature on this settlement agreement that basically wipes away past tax liabilities for the president. And then watch how Blanch tries to dodge it. He sits there and goes, well, technically, the New York conviction for falsifying business records wasn't a tax conviction. Wait, are they kidding me? Schiff calls him out on the spot. He's like, look, the underlying scheme was literally about mischaracterizing payments for tax purposes. Schiff nailed it. It's a staggering, blatant example of self-dealing that stops anyone from auditing or prosecuting these tax crimes. Unbelievable. Then it gets even crazier. Blanch tries to play cool and says, oh, the agreement isn't forward-looking. It doesn't protect future tax filings. Oh, okay, great. So it only protects, what? All the returns filed earlier in the year, including billions made in crypto deals and family business schemes? Schiff pointed that exact loophole out. And when Schiff asks him, did you write this language? Blanch goes, well, no, somebody at the DOJ typed it up. I just put my name on it. Seriously? You're the top guy and your defense is, I didn't write the check, I just signed it? You can't make this stuff up. This next part actually made my blood boil. Schiff brings up the fact that the Justice Department, our Justice Department, completely abandoned 25 different legal defenses, including the statute of limitations, just to settle a $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS. Schiff points out that the courts literally called this lawsuit and settlement a collusive, non-adversarial sham. Blanch wasn't defending the public or the IRS. He was basically playing lawyer for both sides. Now, the ending of this confrontation, wow. Schiff drops this incredible Robert Caro quote on him. "Power doesn't corrupt, it reveals." He looks Blanch dead in the eye and basically asks, "What happened to you, Todd? What happened to the respected federal prosecutor from the Southern District of New York who used to care about the rule of law? You sold out every principle you ever had just for a title." And Blanch's response? He sits there trying to claim he's still the same guy, just doing the right thing and keeping communities safe. Right, because giving a billionaire a free pass on his taxes is really keeping our communities safe. It was so weak, so hollow. At the end of the day, watching this exchange just confirms what we all feel every single day. The system is rigged to protect the powerful while working people get squeezed. Schiff laid it all out with facts, receipts, and zero hesitation. What did you think when you watched Blanch squirm? Was Schiff spot on or what? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Stay loud, stay passionate, and I'll catch you in the next one.